Hello and welcome back. By way of reintroduction, my name is Dr. Shala Ezekoli and I help busy physicians and professional women defeat and prevent burnout so that they can live, we all can live, happy, stress-free lives. When your life is free of burnout, you're free to be creative. You're free to create the life you want. You're free to do more than just pay bills and die. And like I also like to say, saving the lives of others should not cost you your own. Now today, on the eve of, I'm in the process of launching Burnout to Freedom, which is my, new program. Yes, new program for physicians. It's CME, it's 12 credits, etc. And the links will be available. I'm going to talk about 5 things that you need to stop doing now, like this minute, in order to have a stress-free existence, in order to have a burnout-free life. 5 things. If you're a doctor, if you're a professional woman, 5 things you need to stop doing now, this minute. Like right after you watch this or listen to this, as the case may be, because this is on my Mentor of Life podcast, both on Anchor and YouTube. Whether you're watching or listening, right after you listen to this or watch it, you can stop doing these things right now. And this will start you on the path to a burnout-free existence, to a stress-free life. Now, number 1, the first thing is stop neglecting yourself and ignoring your wants. It's like, well, but I don't have time to take care of myself. Well, here's the thing. You don't have time not to take care of yourself. You don't have the luxury of not taking care of yourself. You don't have the wherewithal to not take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, your needs, and you keep ignoring your wants, guess what? You will crumble. And when you crumble, everything around you will crumble. But don't just do it because of the things around you. Do it for your own self. Do it for your own stress-free existence. Stop neglecting yourself. Self-neglect does not make you a better wife, a better mother, a better doctor, a better nurse, a better professional, a better anything. Your neglected self is kind of your worst self. But yet, many people, not all of us, I don't neglect myself. People are going around day after interminable day, neglecting themselves. This is not supposed to be the case. Start to take care of your health, your physical health, your emotional well-being, your mental health, contemplate your spiritual needs, and even your relational health. Why? Because no matter how awesome you are, your relationships can make or break you, and your relationships can add to or subtract from your health. Stop ignoring your wants. How many women do this? And I'm not talking about affordability. How many women do this? They want something, right? They can afford it. They can afford it just as well. But oh, no. I'm not going to buy it because, my kids need shoes. My kids need this. Even when the kids have more shoes than you have, more clothes than you have, more, more possessions than you have because you've bought them. But all of a sudden, when you want something, you're so used to neglecting yourself that if you want something, you feel guilty about getting it. Stop. You don't become a better person by neglecting yourself and ignoring your wants. Number 2, stop ignoring the warning signs. Just as, it would be very foolish for you to go to see a doctor to treat your diabetes after your foot has fallen off. Because guess what? Before your foot falls off or gets gangrene, there are warning signs. They're the early warning signs of diabetes. The eating a lot, peeing a lot, very thirsty, etc. Ignore the warning signs. And then and then the ill effects start to happen downstream from that. In the same way, look at yourself, look at your life. It could even be something as something like your health. Something is going on. Instead of you to go see a doctor, you give yourself 1,000 excuses why you don't have time to see a doctor. Or you don't have time to do your treatment, whatever treatment it is, whether it's to take medicine or to go to therapy, physical therapy, etc. Maybe you say you don't have time to attend to your mental health issues. Don't ignore the warning signs. Burnout does not go from normal, happy person to suicide in one day. It doesn't. There are warning signs, warning signs. Your body will give you warning signs. Your mind will give you warning signs. Your intuition will give you warning signs. When you start having nightmares about your job, or you sit outside before you go into your work and you have a panic attack. But yet, guess what happens? A lot of times we just ignore the warning signs and think we're going to push through. There's something we used to say when we were in medical school, when people talk about, studying all night. You can't cheat nature. You cannot. And sooner or later, those warning signs, the drip, 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 is going to become an avalanche that's going to sweep you away. Stop ignoring the warning signs that your mind, your body, your spirit are giving you. Because that could be a clue to you pivoting into doing something else, into taking better care of yourself, into hiring a coach, into making sure that your wellness is taken seriously. Don't ignore the warning signs. That's number 2. Number 3, stop holding on to the wrong identity. Now, I can tell you so much about identity. Books I've written, my upcoming book that's going to be released this summer, hopefully. I have a whole chapter on identity. But here's the thing about your identity. Your thoughts are not your identity. Your behavior is not your identity. Your identity is who you are. And it is incumbent upon you to develop a healthy self-image and a healthy identity. Now, I can tell you that a healthy identity is not the identity of the savior. If you watched Encanto, right? Luisa and her donkeys, that's a savior identity. You enable people so much. These donkeys have 4 legs and they can walk by themselves. Why on earth are you carrying them? Some of you are carrying proverbial donkeys because you have the wrong identity. You were wrapped up your identity in suffering for others. Maybe your identity is that of a martyr or a savior or a pleaser. Oh, I want to make everybody happy. But guess what? You can't make everybody happy. You can't. You don't control people's feelings. Do you really have that much psyche? Do you really think that you have so much psychic power over people that you're going to control their feelings? Oh, I want to make everybody happy, so I'm going to please. I'm going to be a people pleaser, right? Those are the wrong identities. You want a more empowered identity, the identity of a sovereign, the identity of a CEO, the identity of the king or a queen that says, this is my life. I am the CEO. I hire, I fire, I demote, I promote as I deem fit. I decide what goes on in this life of mine. Not everybody and their mama. Holding on to the wrong identity, that's the number 3 thing you need to stop doing. And like I said, right after you watch or listen to this, you can stop doing that right now. Now, number 4, another thing you need to stop doing right now is passing along your suffering. And what do I mean by that? You find people who are in, and I'm talking, this video is for boss women and doctors, and you're in a position, right? Maybe you struggle to get there, and people are coming up after you, and they're struggling, and you sit back and go, well, if I struggle, they have to struggle too. No. The point of your suffering is so that you can turn around and give people a hand up or a leg up so that they don't have to suffer the way you did. That is how we break intergenerational trauma, both in jobs and in families and in jobs and workplaces. Help the next person. Don't sit back and watch people suffer. Whether these people be your junior colleagues, your direct reports, whatever you call them, or your children. Your role is not to sit back and make them suffer. Your role is to help them get a leg up so that they can help the next person and the next person and the next person, and then we all rise together. Don't pass along your suffering. Again, number 4 things you need to stop doing right now. Number 5, stop settling for the worst. When you develop a more empowered identity and you carry yourself with a sense of importance, oh my goodness, you will realize that you are not supposed to settle for the worst. You're supposed to have the best you can possibly get. Get the best job you can. Don't fall prey to the belief that there's nothing better for you out there, because there is. You just have to keep looking with the belief that it exists. If you don't believe it exists, you're not going to find it because you're not going to look for it. And you're not going to put your energy behind it. Stop settling for the worst jobs, the worst relationships, the worst food, the worst clothes, the worst car. Stop settling for the worst. And this has nothing to do with affordability. This is more of a mental thing. Knowing that, you know what, I deserve better and I'm going to work towards it. I deserve better. Maybe I'm here now, but you know what? I deserve better. I'm going to work towards it. That's what I mean by not settling for the worst. So to recap, I'm going to go over my 5 points again. Doctors and professional women, 5 things you need to stop doing now, this minute. Number 1, stop the self-neglect and stop ignoring your wants. Number 2, stop ignoring warning signs of impending doom, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever. Number 3, stop holding on to the wrong identity. A fixer, yeah, all the problems are yours to fix. No, they're not. A savior, no, you're not a savior, as there's already a savior of the world. A martyr, your self-worth doesn't lie in suffering for others. A pleaser, a people pleaser. There are about 7 or 8 identities that are disempowering. And like I said, that's kind of a lot to go into in this short broadcast. Develop an identity that is empowering. Develop an identity that is empowering. Number 5, don't pass along your suffering. Don't sit back and watch people suffer just because I suffered too. Last but not the least, stop settling for the worst, because you deserve better. You deserve the best. You also deserve the good things in life. So I will see you next time. Next time could be next week, could be tomorrow. But, if you enjoyed this, please share with anybody that you know will benefit from it, so that more people can hear this information and be free from burnout, stress, and emotional pain that comes with it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next time.